Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Ashley Joys. In today's video, we're going to do an update and a big announcement and a big surprise. So if you want to know what's going on, please stay tuned. I'm also going to throw a few things about Arizona update in this video, but if you want to know what my big surprise is, stay tuned and watch this video. Okay, so today's big announcement. This is really crazy, y'all. Y'all ready? Let me stop. Let me just tell you guys because I'm going slow. I am expecting. I am currently pregnant. I don't know if you guys can see. This is my pregnancy journal. I decided to just pull this thing up to kind of show you guys. This is an ultrasound from the beginning. We'll get into all of this. We'll get into this, y'all. But I just had to tell you guys, this video, I may have announced it on social media. I may have not. I may have had the baby. I may have not. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to post this video, but I'm recording it for now so that you guys can be a part of the journey with me. And I'm going to do a belly shot at the end of this video, so you guys stay tuned for that if you want to see my bump, because for some reason I feel kind of big, and people keep telling me, like, you know, for me to be, currently I'm 23 weeks today, they're like, oh my gosh, your stomach is kind of big. So we'll talk about that, but let's just tell the journey on how I found out I was pregnant, what were my symptoms, and everything like that. Okay, so let's get into this story time. Let's start from the beginning. So I'm going to do a few key points and then we'll just continue on the story. So first thing is, my partner and I have been celibate since almost a year when I found out I was pregnant. So that's so funny to me because literally prior to that, we were not celibate at all. And in this video, I'm going to be completely transparent. For all you guys who know, I am a Christian. I believe in God. I am trying my best to stay on the path of following Jesus and really doing things God's way. Of course, I'm not perfect, so, you know. But anyway, so we were celibate, just trying to wait till marriage and stuff like that. And so at that point, I was doing really, really good. Like, it was months and months and months went past. And I want to talk about a few things prior to us having our slip up, right? So I was doing this keto diet because if you guys don't know, I talked about this before on my channel. I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is the #1 cause of infertility. Now, I was never told that I'm 100% infertile. I was never told that I can't have kids, but I was told that it might be harder. I don't really ovulate, and that my hormones were completely imbalanced, which they were, because I was only getting like maybe 3 periods a year. And so long story short, my hormones were all over the place. And so during this self healing and this faith journey and just really me following Christ, I wanted to also work on my body, work on the things that I was eating, even though I was eating pretty okay, but I need to find something that can help me with my PCOS. So I did keto. And I did keto because I heard a lot of good things about keto for people with PCOS. And honestly, you guys, it worked. I did keto for 6 months straight. Every single month that I did keto, I had a cycle. Every single month, like clockwork. And so just keep that in mind. So one day, my spouse and I, we basically had a slip up. And that was that time. And I was thinking nothing of it because prior to that, we've done things before for many years, for almost 10 years. We only had one pregnancy, which ended in a miscarriage. So I already just assumed that I was infertile. Honestly, I just kind of believed that I couldn't have kids, and I accepted that. I was okay with that. You know, we've had times where it was a couple times where they thought I might have had a chemical pregnancy. I'm not 100% sure on that, but in the past. So, but I do know for sure I had one miscarriage, which ended around 11 weeks, and that was traumatic on its own. I don't even want to get into that, but I just believed I was completely infertile for many, many, many reasons. So we have this slip up, whatever, and then that was that, right? I'm like, ooh, can't be doing that. Let me pray. I repented and everything, and I was like, God, I'm sorry. Not because I'm sorry because I'm like trying to be perfect. I'm sorry because I genuinely have been building a relationship with God, and I want to not do anything that's going to break his heart. So that's kind of how I looked at it, and I was like, I'm sorry, you know, God, give me strength to continue on this journey. I'm not going to slip up again. And I just kept pushing forward, and we didn't do anything. We're still currently celibate now. So anyway, so I know the exact date that we got pregnant, if you want to be honest. Let's fast forward. So a couple weeks go by. A lot of my friends, a lot of my family are expecting, right? And one of my friends in particular, she is expecting. She's further along than me. She just had her baby recently. And I just started a new job, and I was staying at my friend's house to go to work from there because I needed to be closer to the job where she lives. And I also wanted to be able to do our meetings and stuff like this, because we had a lot of Zoom meetings after the first week in person. After that, everything was virtual. And I wanted to be able to do that without my niece screaming in the background and all these things. We had 3 weeks of training via Zoom, and I didn't want to get like, I don't know, they probably wasn't going to wrap me up, but it was better for me to concentrate. And my friend's space was open, and she allowed us to use it while she traveled back and forth into different states and stuff like that. So that's where we were at. We were at her house, and I was at work. And I remember the week prior to my friend saying these words to me. Listen to me, y'all. I was eating like crazy. So I guess that's one of the symptoms. I didn't realize I was eating like crazy. I genuinely thought, oh, I'm working, I just started this new job. It's full time. I'm always on the clock. I am tired. I was super busy. And so I just thought I was eating more because I was working from home. I wasn't moving around. And sometimes, I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of people get a lot of hunger from sitting down all day at work. So I just assumed that was it. So my friend one day, she looks at me and she says, Ashley, I think you are pregnant. And I'm looking at her on FaceTime like, girl, I am not pregnant. I can't get pregnant. I have fertility issues. And even if I could, I'm not trying to have a kid right now. I'm going to wait until, 1, I'm married, but 2, until if I decide to have kids a little bit later. And I think that stemmed from fear as well because of PCOS. We'll get into that in another video. But also another thing I forgot to mention is that because I really believed that I couldn't have kids, I already talked to my sister, and she already said she would be my surrogate for me. So I already had a plan. My plan was to, work my way up, build money, get a house, continue to follow Christ, all these things, and work on my health, and then get married and have kids. And my sister was going to be my surrogate. So I had this whole plan. And I already knew I had PCOS, so I kind of was like, all right, it is what it is, and I accepted it. And if I don't ever have kids, I'll be okay too. Like, I accepted it. And so anyway, my friend kept telling me, yeah, I think you're pregnant. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, I was like, what would make you think that? Like, you're saying that because you're pregnant, right? And she's like, no, you've been eating a lot. You've been sleeping. I said, well, I've been sleeping because I'm tired. I just started a new job. I've been eating because I've been working. She's like, Ashley, you work from home. I'm like, yeah. And working from home can make you more hungry. Like, that's what I believe, right? Plus, I was like, there's no way I can be pregnant anyway. Like, I can't have kids. Like, I don't have the ability to do that. And she's like, well, anything is possible, but I think you should take a test. And she kept telling me that. And I was like, okay. And I, told my spouse or whatever. And every time he was supposed to get the test from the store, me and him was like, there's no way you're pregnant because we've only done it once in this whole, like, almost year. And we both knew, like, the past, like, we're like, that never happened. And to be honest, we never used things that prevent that. And that never happened. So we're just, except for once that we for sure know of. So we're just like, but he still was like, well, we'll just make sure. So anyway, he's supposed to get the test every day. Never got it. He's supposed to get the test. Never got it. Then when I went back to my house, which was here, I had a test in my drawer from a long time ago before I became celibate. And plus, I never really took them. So it just sat in my drawer. So I'm thinking this test probably not going to work. It's old. So I'm going to just see. Right. And we were getting ready to go bowling to his cousin's birthday party. And so, I go to the bathroom, and I might insert some clips. If not, I'll do a different, my foot got stuck on here. If not, I'll do a different video, like a little journey. But otherwise, I'll insert some little clips right here. But I was like, okay, in my head, I'm thinking, let me hurry up and take this test. I know it's going to be negative. We've taken tests in the past. They were always negative. Every single test we've ever taken, except for one. So I already know it's negative. Like, I'm not even scared. I'm like, this is negative. So why am I wasting my time? But whatever, I'm going to just take it so that way I can show her it's negative and we can just move about our life. So I go to the bathroom. I'm already dressed. We about to go bowling. I'm doing my hair a little bit, touching it up. I'm like, let me get this test. You know, I pee in the cup, I put the little thing in there, I sit it down, I'm like, let me finish my hair. As I'm doing my hair, I just kind of glance down to look, and I'm like, hold on. What? There were 2 lines. My mind couldn't process what I was looking at. So I picked it up, and I'm like, and I recorded it too, because I'm like, you know, well, we'll get to that part. But the first time I'm like, there's no way. So I'm thinking, okay, I know there's no such thing as false positive. So this can't be right? That's all I can think. So I'm thinking maybe this test is just old. It's very old. It's probably not working correctly. So I'm going to do another test the next day. So, but at the same time, you know, I called him, I showed him, he was super excited. He's like, oh my gosh, what? Like, he was so happy. He came in the house because he was outside waiting for me. He was just so happy because, of course, he's like, this is a blessing. You know, we already thought we couldn't have kids, and it's been 10 years. And, you know, since 7 years since our last miscarriage. And so it's just like, he was so excited. Me, I was all over the place. My emotions were like excited, but then I also felt like, oh my gosh, like I'm not married, and, you know, I'm letting God down. I had all this condemnation stuff that happened with me. It was a really hard journey. We could talk about that in another video for any Christian out there that want to know my faith part of this story, the spiritual part. If you want to know the spiritual part of this story, like this video or comment below so I can tell you how I felt and what I did about that, and how I got right back with God, and God helped me out of that. He literally pulled me out of it, because I also was told by one of my mentors, like, this is not a blessing. I don't want you to think this is a blessing. And it literally planted a seed in me that completely destroyed every bit of it was so bad. And I don't think that person knew how much that affected me in a negative way. And God pulled me out of that. He showed me something totally different. So if you want to know my faith journey with this, please let me know, because my relationship with God now has been so great because of even me. Like, I look at myself like, wow, like God is so good beyond my mistakes, the things that I do. He's so good, and it made me feel even more connected to him. So anyway, if you want to know all that journey, that's a whole nother story. Let me know below. So anyway, so I was struggling with my emotions at first, long story short, but at the same time I was confused, like, how is this possible? Like, there's no way. So anyway, we went to the doctor to double check, and as soon as I go to the doctor, they're like, absolutely, you are. Like, she's like, as soon as I dipped it, it was like strong, like, you are. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how is that possible? I didn't think I can have kids. Like, that's all I kept saying. And so she was like, well, it's possible. And they were all so happy for me, because I've been going to this doctor's office for literally, 6 years now, and they were just so happy for me. They know my journey. They know about my PCOS. I mean, I had to go there every 3 months to get my blood work done, so they all knew me. I knew all the staff. And another key thing for me to note that I forgot, after we had that slip up 2 days later, my doctor had called me and told me, hey, Ashley, what have you been doing? Because your blood work came back and your hormones are balanced out. And I was like, huh? And I didn't think nothing of that, though. So now it makes sense, too. So the keto, of course, God is the #1 person, because God blesses us. A baby is always a blessing, no matter what situation. God already formed us before the foundation of this earth. He already knew every single person that was going to be born. And so it's all a blessing, regardless of how that baby was conceived. However, of course, we want to do it God's way. But, you know, God blessed me. And I just feel so, you know, just in awe with God for even feeling like I'm worthy to be a parent. And I'm just like, wow. So anyway, so they were all excited for me, and then I was like, I can't believe this. So I told my mom I surprised her on her birthday. We told everybody in our family and our friends that we knew in person, and everybody was so loving and so supportive. And I was actually surprised, because everybody know how big I am on my faith, and so I thought I was going to get a lot of backlash, but I got none, except for from that one girl. Everybody was so loving. They all knew my journey. They knew my story, but they were so kind, and just like, even when I was going through the condemnation, they was helping me out of it. Like, you know, continue to follow God, repent, and once you've done that, continue. My brother in Christ gave me some words of encouragement that really helped me. And when I tell y'all, like, to this day, I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. Like, what? Like, and I feel him kick in, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, how is this possible? Like, I'm still in shock, and I'm currently 6 months, and I'm still in shock. I can't wrap my head around it sometimes, but God is so good, y'all. So that is where I've been. So my pregnancy journey has been kind of tough. I've had something called a subchorionic hematoma. I am going to do a video on that. That's going to be part 2. It's going to be talking about my pregnancy complications, or things that happened during my pregnancy. Hopefully it'll help somebody out there and give them hope. I am still going through, you know, pregnancy, and I'm just praying, of course, that everything goes well. And I'm not, like I said, I'm probably not going to post this video till after he's born, or I may post it right before, I'm not sure. But whenever I post it, I want you to know that, you know, this has been a journey for sure. And I'm just grateful for every bit of it. I've completely put this whole situation to God's hands, and I just feel so good about that. But yeah, this has been definitely an interesting journey. And all my friends and my family who's been there for me since the beginning until now, they've been so loving and so supportive, and God has been so great. I'm just so grateful. So quick little details. I am due November 23rd, 2022, the day before Thanksgiving. I am due the day after my friend Ree. My brothers are both also having a baby. My one brother baby is due August 3rd, and then the other one September 2nd, then me November 23rd. There's 13 of us total pregnant, so it's a lot of us, and two of my friends already have their babies, and then there's more just coming back to back. So that's exciting. What else? I gained so far, so I'm 23 weeks today. I've gained 23 pounds, so definitely gained quite a bit, and I was happy about it. But then the weight has caused me to have some little pains and aches. I will talk about that in the next video. This is just a story of how I found out. What symptoms did I have? I was hungry, I was tired. My first trimester, I hated every food. I did not like anything. I was just, and I didn't vomit or anything like that. I just hated every bit of food. And then my second trimester, I couldn't stop eating, and I still can't. So I'm trying to be more careful because I was eating very bad. Y'all know I like to eat healthy, but I was eating terrible. My second half, I still am struggling through that. Yeah, other than that, the aches, the pains, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I go through my ups and my downs emotionally because this has been a lot for me. It's a lot that's been going on in the background that a lot of people don't know about. And, you know, God has really been helping me through that. But that is where I've been, y'all. I've been on bed rest for 3 months or longer, actually. So on bed rest for a really long time, 6 weeks until 20 weeks. So basically 4 months I was on bed rest. I started a new job. Arizona, y'all, we've been looking for a place to move into for a 2-bedroom for the baby and for our, of course, own space. But it's like really expensive out here, y'all. So if you're trying to move to Arizona, look around, but make sure you find a good paying job because the prices of the housing out here is ridiculous. I love Arizona, but it's really discouraging me a lot. But I know God is good and he'll help us find somewhere we're supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the update for now. I'm going to come back on here when I'm further along and I'm closer to delivery, and I'm going to do an update video. But this is where I am from now, 1 to 6 months. Well, up to 6 months. And now I'm going to show you a belly shot. And if you like this video, if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to know, any video you want me to talk about, comment below. If I've already had the baby, we can have him in the video and maybe talk. I don't want his face on anything. I didn't post anything on social media because personally, I don't like my personal business out there, and especially what I've been through with pregnancy in the past and just infertility and all this other stuff. I didn't want to post anything on social media until I had my child, and then make sure everything's okay. So I waited, but my whole family and friends who know me in real life, they kicking right now. Who know me in real life know all about it. It's not a secret. I just don't want social media to know yet. So this video, like I say, I'm excited to let you guys know whenever it comes out. And you guys are my family. I love you guys so much. You guys have been supporting me since I moved to Arizona. My life has been like, I moved. You guys were part of that big journey and me getting my places and getting my jobs, and now this journey. So God is so good. You have seen my growth and my learning lessons and all of those things. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were part of this. So I'm going to show you guys a bump date and we'll go from there. So I am currently 6 months. Let me slowly get on my knees to show you guys. Get up the wrong way because y'all been having back pain. Hold on. Okay, this is where we are. So we are currently here. He, she, what will it be? It's right up in there. And definitely growing for sure. So that is that. If you, like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything, comment below and let me know. And I will update you guys as I go along. And any videos that I make during this time, I'll post later. Hopefully it is helpful. Hopefully you guys still feel a part of the journey, even if he or she is here by then. But I love you guys so much, and just thank you once again for supporting me. Like, this has been such a blessing. I'm so grateful, and thank you guys so much for everything you've done for me. I always repent of my sins, and I always try to move forward with love and walking with Jesus. So I love you guys. I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.